Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well this week. Today I had a very interesting chat with a friend of mine who was from the UK and now live in Taiwan. When we were having a chat, we touched down about the educational system in Taiwan and the UK. Even though I know there are some differences between these two countries, when I dive in deeper into the systems in these two countries, I was absolutely surprised about the huge difference about systems and people's mindsets. For example, my friend is working as a teacher in Taiwan. She told me that nowadays in Taiwan, elementary school students in Taiwan have to go to cram school after school, and now in Taiwan, elementary school students typically finish their school at around 12 to 1 p.m., which is completely different compared to my era. When I was young as an elementary student, I had to study and learn everything at school from 7 a.m. until very late in the afternoon, like around 5 to 6 p.m. I don't quite remember the exact time of finishing my school. However, I can tell that it was quite late, so it wasn't really only finished until noon. So coming back to the system now in Taiwan, from what I heard is public school in Taiwan, it typically only have lessons until noon. Then they would let their students go home. However, this is not the case. When they finish their school, they don't go straight to home or having fun with their friends. Instead, most of them would be sent to cram schools for further studying. This really surprised me a lot. I thought that the education system has become more friendly compared to my era. However, it's really smashed my expectation. It's still people like parents in Taiwan still believe that more learning and education is the fundamental of competing with other people, as they think that if they don't let their children study, they may fall behind down the line. So no matter how short traditional school is in Taiwan, their parents would always push their kids to cram schools. Compared to Taiwan, the UK system is completely different from Taiwan. From what I heard, in the UK, people who go to cram school only accounts for around 42% among the general public. However, in Taiwan, even for my era, it goes up to 80% or even higher, especially if you're living in densely crowded cities like Taipei and Kaohsiung or even Taichung. Yeah, so this often gives children a lot of pressures. Without their own time, not only young children feel tired after school and even after the study in cram school, but they also have to compete with their peers and meet the need of their parents. I'm not so sure how it is like in the UK from parents' perspective. However, I think in the UK they are not as strict as Taiwan. As from what I know is most children would have their own time to do extracurricular activity that they really enjoy instead of being pushed by other people or by their parents to do a traditional subject like math, English, or anything you can think of that are taught in traditional schools. Yeah, and so I really think that if you're considering to live in Taiwan, and wants to bring your children to Taiwan for further education, I think it would be better for people to think twice and think about different aspects of the education in Taiwan, so that they can see whether the educational system in Taiwan really suits their need. Yeah, so this is all. This is part of the things that I have talked with my friend, and other things like many people in Taiwan have higher educational degree, at least bachelor's degree, and you can say that up to 90% of people have bachelor's degree. And my friend asked me why this is the case. Why I told her that it is because in Taiwan, most job requires you to have graduated from university. If not, you barely can get a job, even for at the entry level of work. So that's why this year's young people are struggling to look for job, because having a bachelor degree is the lowest standard for people to get a job. Although the government is trying its best to solve this problem, I don't think that they would really solve this problem in the long term. What they do will be just encouraging parents and society to be more open-minded, but what they're going to do, I really have no idea. But I don't really have a hope for better future for Taiwan in terms of better employment rates. If they simply focus on getting higher educational degrees, and this can't be only solved by governments. The mindset of parents and the entire society in Taiwan have to change as well. What they have to do is to be more open-minded instead of simply focusing on getting higher degree and learn more. Instead, they have to think of a practical side that meets the job market. Think of how we do in the UK and Australia, or even in Canada. That said, I'm not saying that the job market and the employment rate in these countries are much better. What I'm saying is we can borrow some benefits and positive sides of these countries, just to combine and weigh up which one would be better for each countries. Yeah, so this is what I want to say in this video. I hope if you have any comments or feedback, just let me know. Am I open to all the comments?